Hey, hey, hey! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Child of Mecha livestream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. Hi! It's a new week. It's Monday! And as if you couldn't tell, I am rocking the classic Child of Mecha logo t-shirt tonight. Just felt like it. Anyway, I'm here now. And we're rocking the army. Represent. There we go. Hi, everybody. How are you? Hopefully your weekends were amazing. Yeah. So, I had a good weekend. A lot of work getting done this weekend. So, that is very, very good. And we're going to show you some things here in just a little bit. But first, let's get some business out of the way, yeah? So, if you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we're going to be working with here tonight, there is an Amazon link below here on the description, in the description, I should say. That side, if you are watching on Facebook. Now, I do get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It just goes to help out the channel and support. A lot of cool stuff in there. Like I said, tools and materials, books for inspiration, gear for streaming if you're into that. All sorts of fun stuff in there. I update it all the time. Go check it out. Aside from that, if you are looking to pick up a classic Child of Mecha t-shirt or t-shirt, anyway, t-shirt, t-shorts are for me, or the amazing Mecha Army hat, I highly suggest that you hit over to www.childofmecha.com and hit the store up at the top. You will find all this stuff and the brand new Mecha Mecha Decal. I'm all sorts of tongue-tied tonight. I don't know what's going on. And the Mecha Decal insignia shirts that just released maybe 2 hours ago. So go hit it up. All colorized logos from Sheet 3. Frog Gang, you're there. All sorts of fun stuff in there. So go check it out. All 10 insignias are up there. I personally think they look awesome. The shirt colors and everything really complement the logos and everything. So go peruse. Yeah, let's throw up some frogs in the chat on YouTube. Throw up the frogs. Let's go. Frogs everywhere. Frogs. Let's get froggy with this thing. Now, if you really, really want to show your support for Child of Mecha and the channel and everything, man, go head over to the Patreon. Link is in the description. We're doing a lot of cool things over there. I'm posting like a monster over there. Extra photos that I don't post on like Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Walkthroughs that I don't necessarily post on other social media channels and things like that. Lot of cool stuff over there. Posted the previews for the Mecha Decal shirts over there. And let everybody over there kind of have a sneak peek at them, right? Sam L says, got my shirt yesterday and is super soft. Dude, aren't they? It's like a nice warm blanket. Not warm, but you get it. Anyway. So go head over to Patreon. We do monthly giveaways and stuff like that. A lot of good content over there. A lot of back and forth. Man, it's just really, really a good time. Julius is asking, and Julius, I haven't gotten to the post office yet. He asked, did you get to the post office, get the package? I haven't yet, man. I did not have time today. I promise that I will get to it tomorrow. Definitely. 100%. Brandon says, Tim, you need an option on all your hats to add one of the insignias on the side of a hat, kind of a customize your order deal. I wish that was possible with the shopping cart system that I use. Unfortunately, it's not. Sorry. And I think that the logos would be a little too complex for the little side deal, unfortunately. But wait, and be patient. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Hey, there is John Lynn. Miss Creepin' Freely for you too. Let's get some birthday wishes for John Lynn, please. I believe either today or tomorrow is her birthday, and I jumped on her birthday stream just a little while ago just to wish her a happy birthday. So everybody, come on, happy birthday, happy birthday. Let's get some birthday wishes for John Lynn. Let's go. Happy birthday, Jay. Happy birthday. So anyway, last but not least, if you are interested in kits, tools, paints, accessories, decals, namely Mecha Decals, sheets 1, 2, and 3, they're all in stock and shipping now right down here at our good friends USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine folks down there will definitely have what you need. And look at all the birthday wishes going on. I love it. I love it. There you go, Jay. Feel the love. Hey, and there's our boy James. I'm being creative. What's going on, James? From down under, too. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Look at him. He's at Happy Cake Day. There we go. For John Lynn. Awesome. Awesome. And Gunpla in Miami. Chris, he says, starts getting in the cake. That's not surprising. That's not surprising. No, it really isn't. Nope, not even a bit. James says, pretending to be working, you know me. Hey, man, we all, right? All of us. Anyway. So, guys, real quick, I just wanted to kind of just do just a quick talk. Just real quick. Nothing crazy, nothing serious. So, today, you know, I go on walks to the local trail near me, which is it's like 5 minutes away, and it's a 2 mile walk, you know, back and forth, 2.25, but hey, who's counting, right? Hey, you know, 220, 225, whatever it takes. And if you know that reference, you and I are friends. But yeah, so it's a 2 mile walk, and I've got my music going. I usually listen to like an audiobook, but for today it felt like a music day, right? And I'm motoring, I'm moving, right? And I just walk, right? Because I hate running. I just do it to get the steps in, burn calories, and that's it. That's it. Low impact, all that good stuff. Man, Michael, shut up. Michael Dawson says, no talking, more building, go, go, go. Soon, man, soon. Trust me. We'll get into the good stuff here in a minute. But, just trying to expound here a little bit, man. Be patient, dude. Anyway, so yeah, so I went on my 2 mile walk and got the music going and getting introspective and reflective and all that good stuff, right? And man, you know, I couldn't help but think that, you know, this streaming and interacting with you guys and interacting with other people, you know, like on John Lynn's show earlier and stuff like that, man, this is so important to me. And I never really realized it until earlier today. Because I just feel good. I feel good. And being off for those 8 months, man, it felt like a part of me was missing. And it's like, I'm back. It feels good. It feels really good. And man, I'm getting creative again. I'm building and all of that, and stuff's coming a lot easier than it did a couple weeks ago or a few weeks ago when we started. It just is, and I'll show you here in a minute. You know, the progress that I got done over the weekend, because I blew the doors off this studio. So yeah, man, it feels good. It feels really good. It feels like I'm back. Like John Wick. I'm back. Yeah. Anyway. And that's, and a big part of it's you guys. No doubt. A big part of it is you guys. 100%. So, anyway, that's all I got. That's all I wanted to say. Just being introspective and appreciative and grateful. That's all. Being happy. Your boy's getting his mojo back. And you'll see. And you'll see here in just a second. Let's get rid of the hat, though. Because we can't use this on for building models. We can't use that. Anyway, speaking of the progress that was done over this weekend, let's go to camera 2, shall we? Ooh, it's hot. It's so hot. Bask in it. Just bask in it. Let the rays shine on you. Let's go. Look at this. I'll let it sit here and marinate for you guys for a minute. It's so nice. It's so nice. It's so nice. I gotta do it twice. That was stupid, but what, you get my drift, right? Anyway. Man. Look at y'all. Sam L says, same. I hadn't touched a kit really until Tim came back. That's what I'm talking about. Brandon says, Tim, you being back and sharing your story and energy has got me back building and being more creative. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I like. Greg Blair, he says, saw it on Patreon today, because I posted it on Patreon today. And he says, I was just like, oof, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah. So let's take a tour of this thing and show you what I did over the weekend, because there's a lot. There's a lot to get to. All right, so where to begin, right? Let's begin. Let's go height-wise. I know that's tough for me. But anyway, all right, so let's get some super zooming action going here, because you can't see the border scribes on this thing, even at full zoom here. So let's get our box and 5x zoom. There we go. There we go. All right, so there you can see that lovely, lovely perimeter scribe around this thing. And it's just really, really good looking. I like it. And then you flip over to the other side, and then the panel is just, it's lovely as well. And it's just, man, I dig this so very much. So very much. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes how you can achieve this, because it's actually stupid simple. Stupid simple. Anyway, moving down the leg to this guy here. Look at that. I had to do 4 of these over the weekend, and I posted a walkthrough on Patreon, and everybody seemed to like it. But I am telling you what, it wasn't difficult. It was just tedious, right? It was tedious because started with these guys right here, these pre-molded minus molds from Kotobukiya, mainly because I didn't have anything else 9mm, or else I probably would have used something else and this would have looked way different, right? But I had 4 of these minus molds, and here are the 2 that I have not installed yet, and you can kind of, let's get them in frame there. And you can see, especially by the size of my fingerprint, how kind of small and delicate these are. These are 9mm in diameter, these minus molds. And that's a 1 by 1mm strip in that minus section. And the little notches here are 0.3 millimeters, and they run across the top and then down the sides. These are cut at an angle, and I know it's probably hard to see there. And when I went ahead and did was also scribed a 0.3 millimeter dividing line right across the middle here, and then I used a 1 millimeter strip and butt that up against right here, drilled a 0.5 millimeter hole, and then you can see kind of countersunk chamfered that with a 1 millimeter drill bit. It's not difficult, just tedious. Just tedious. That's it. Anyway, so that's the finished product there, and I think that looks a whole hell of a lot better than this ugly thing, right? And I think Bill had mentioned that a few streams ago, but yeah, so there we go. Looking pretty nice. And then we come to the foot. Let's take a look here at the beautiful top of the foot. And I still have to clean up this mess in here. That's all just, glue squeeze out, because I used Plastic Magic, excuse me, for this additive detail. And that's the only additive detail on the actual feet. These here are 1x1 millimeter strips, and then this middle section is a 1 millimeter half round. So yeah, that looks really, really good. These are cut at an angle. You can see there in the profile, and slightly chamfered across the back corner there as well. But went ahead and made this kind of scribe line all around, notches abound. Scribe line up here, notches on the side, a nice line, and kind of a micro panel up here with 3 separations. So that all looks really, really good. If we pop this up, went ahead and reinforced those lines around this feature. I chose not to really do anything with this because mainly the ankle armor is going to be in the way most of the time anyway. Yeah, Brandon's not feeling too good, y'all. Okay. Pediatrician thinks the girls have it, and we are treating them like they have it, but recommended not testing them to not traumatize them. I gotcha. Jeez. Well, Brandon, best of luck, buddy. Best of luck. I know, excuse me, I know you had said that you had like 2 rapids and a slow test, and they all came back negative, thankfully, right? Thankfully. So that's a good thing. So hopefully it's just a cold or it's the flu or something like that, but who knows. But best of luck, dude. Seriously, best of luck. Anyway, all right, so back to this. We spin this around to the side profile here, and we've got some nice scribing and notches and stuff like that over on this side. I went ahead and followed this line down and kind of made this its own separate panel here, and did a nice little micro panel in here, and did some other panel work across here. Nice big notch there. Some simple scribing across the side here, with little 45-degree boxes there and stuff like that. That all lines up and looks really, really nice. The same thing with the back of the foot. The notches here echo the front, as well as this little panel here as well. And then if we spin this around, I'm going to need to refocus here a little bit. And right about there. We've got some, some middle panels here, some nice box scribing with some notches here, some nice 45-degree cuts with a nice fat middle scribe there with some notches. And then obviously the same thing on the other side. Just mirrored it all across there, right? So I think this looks really quite nice all together. So, yeah. I'm pretty damn happy with it. Pretty damn happy with it. So, this is all starting to come together. All starting to come together. Oh, and I added that too. Because I was not happy with that look. So, went ahead, routed that out with the mini Dremel and the tack life, and pop those in there. So yeah, so looking good. I think I'm gonna keep these in here because these are smaller, and I don't know. I actually don't mind the look of this. This was just this big thing, just overbearing. Honestly, just way overbearing. That is much smaller. It's not as, I don't think it's as big of a deal as the one on the ankle. So, but yeah. Anywho, I think it looks good. I think it looks pretty good. So, let's get out a super zoom here right quick. All right. So, here we go. Let's catch up with everything here. Belted Earl says, seriously got to compile all of Tim's resources. Sweet stuff. Dude, it's all on Patreon, man. You're on there. You're on there. That and what you call it? Right there on the tip of my tongue. ArtStation. Duh. ArtStation.com. It's a great resource for finding concept art and stuff like that, especially mechanical stuff, mecha, all of that. Pinterest is a big resource as well. So all of those definitely, just go on there for like an hour and just rummage through and start hitting save, save, and just save them. Just save them for later. Save them for later inspiration. That's what I do. All right, let's get to work, shall we? Because I know you guys are interested in seeing, especially this this outline deal here, right? Now, we have that piece here, which is pristine, virgin, if you will. It does not have any work done to it whatsoever, as opposed to its sister here, right? Which has a lot of work. So we're gonna work on this side tonight, and we're gonna get this going. Now, let's start with the perimeter scribe, like I had posted earlier this weekend, right? The outline around this this little feature, right? So what I did was I created a plug jig, right? Now, obviously, everybody on Patreon already knows this, but bear with me. We're gonna go over this for the non-Patreon folks, right? So made a plug jig, and I've made several of these in the past, right? Mostly for the Zaku, the remixed Zaku, and the mostly for the high mobility armor. And these are what they look like, right? They're just, you know, simple templates for your scribing, but then you flip them over and they've got this little plug on the back side, right? And these plugs fit perfectly inside of the feature that you're trying to scribe around. Now, obviously, you can see the outline, or the border, I should say, around this plug is very, very small. About, I don't know, 3/4 of a millimeter, maybe even less on this small one here, right? So this just went up against a flat surface. So you just basically plug that in to the hole, or the feature, right? You just plug it in. It fits real snugly, so it's not going to go anywhere, and it's not going to move on you. And you scribe around that using the top template. Very, very, very simple. Very simple. Alignment of the two pieces of plastic is absolutely the hardest part of this whole operation. Simply because if you don't line that up perfectly, everything will just be thrown off completely, and you're pretty much gonna have to start again. So what I did was create this little guy here, right? And in the shape of the scribing that we wanted, right? And that I had to curve it just slightly here, because obviously this is on a curve, and this plugs right into that feature, and then you just scribe right around this guy. You just scribe right around him. Now, for the parallel notches, and you guys can see those a little bit there in the highlight, because they're only 0.3 millimeters wide, where the actual panel line itself is 0.15. So they're twice as big, but they're still very small. How do we get the alignment? How do we get the length perfectly and all of that, right? Easy. You use your plug jig. You keep it on there, and hopefully you can see. Yeah, see, you can see the lines down here in the highlights and shadows, right? And I know it's hard. Let me go super zoom here real quick, and you'll see how I use this thing, right? All right, so there we go. Perfect. So here you can see the lines that I went ahead and scribed in, and you can even see how they align to, well, for the most part, they align to the, out of focus, how they align to the notches there, right? So, all pretty good. Obviously, these ones down here at the bottom are a little longer, mainly because I foobarred one and then I had to match the other one. Not a big deal, because when you're looking at these are so small, you're never going to notice one to the other, right? But that's how we get those parallel notches in there, right? And you can see the nice outline with the of the scribe line all around that guy. And that's simple. That's it. It's just a plug jig. That's it. Easy peasy. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Michael Francisco says, "Dude, you're a freaking monster for this Child of Mecha. Huge props, dude. Hey, that's why I do things, right? Why I do these things." Brandon has a question.
We have a question.
He says, "Can you explain how you made the plug jig with such good fitment?" Yes, absolutely. So, Brandon, the thing is that this particular feature is actually kind of difficult to fit a plug in, right? Because it's tapered, right? So the inside wall here, obviously, you can see by the width of the tip of the bamboo skewer here how tall the inside wall is. But if we bring it down here, you can see that that is much, much shorter. So the actual armor tapers off, but the inside piece, the inside surface here is flat and consistent, which, you know, it just presents a challenge, right? So the big thing is to find the proper width of styrene strip or sheet or what have you, to that's close enough so that you can finesse it in there. Now, obviously, this is way too big. That's about a millimeter too wide, right? So let's see here. I'm thinking that's closer to a 3.2 that we need. Yeah, it's about 3 millimeters in width, right? So let me see if I can find a 3. I think I found it. There we go. Yeah. So this is a 3.2 millimeter strip. It's evergreen plastic, right? Now, obviously, you can see this does not fit perfectly, right? It's just a hair over. So what I did was I got the overall inner dimensions of this feature, right? And cut the strip to length, and then started sanding, you know, with a block. Just started sanding away at the edge until that thing fit nice and snug in there, right? Laterally, you know, width-wise. Now, there's a challenge for alignment with this inner part here, because you've got the bevels up at the top, right? So we need to form the plug with those bevels right there, and you can see I beveled those, and I left a lot of extra room down here, mainly because this 1 millimeter strip was not going to fit into that bottom section. So this is a top justified plug jig, right? So basically you slide it in all the way till it stops at the top, and that hits the back wall of this, and once that's done, it's aligned. It's aligned. Simple stuff. But then you had to curve it slightly, and this side is still a little wonky, but when you're scribing, you just hold that down, and you can kind of see how that curves nicely to the surface, right? So yeah, that's really about it. Now you have to be careful because scribing these lines in here makes a weak point. So removing this, it causes an area of weakness in the strip, right? And this strip is only 0.5 millimeter in thickness. It is not a full millimeter. So mainly because I knew I needed to curve it, and if I had a 2 millimeter stack, you know, 1 millimeter each, I knew that was going to be extremely difficult. So I used 0.5 millimeter. So yeah. Let's see. We got some other questions here. Good stuff. Taylor's with us in the chat over on YouTube. He's got a question.
We have a question.
He says, does polystyrene sheets have a different feel to being scribed on than Bandai plastic? A little. I do find that Bandai's plastic is a little more brittle. Not to say that it is brittle, it's just a little more brittle than, say, it just freaked out again. Hopefully we're still live. Yep, it freaked out on... Okay, but it's back. Woo-hoo. Scared me there for a second. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, the texture and the quality of plastic. But yeah, like I said, I find Bandai plastic to be just slightly more brittle than, say, your Evergreen plastic or, say, Plastruct or Tamiya's Pla Plate. Um, and like I said, not to say that it is brittle, because it's definitely not. I just find that it's just slightly, I don't know, it's just got this slightly more, I don't know, stiff feature to it. So it does feel a little different, but if you've got a good set of chisels, it should just eat through it like it's nothing. The polystyrene sheets and strips and everything, they're going to scribe probably a lot faster and easier. But yeah, there's a slight difference, but you get used to it after a while. Good question, though. I like that. Let's see. Michael Francisco, he's got a question.
We have a question.
Michael wants to know, how essential is a caliper? Can you get away with taking these measurements with a ruler? Michael, you're probably going to hate me because I didn't really use a ruler pretty much for any of that. Whoopsie. I didn't use a ruler for pretty much any of it. The only time that I used a ruler was to space out the notch lines. That was really it. So what I went ahead and did was I figured that the overall inner width of this thing was about 3 millimeters. Actually, no, I lied. I used a ruler to measure the length of it. So that was the only other time. But I knew that the inner width was 3 millimeters. So at that point, I wanted to go 4 millimeter. So I just happened, you have a 4 millimeter strip. So you, and this is actually, this is 4.8. This strip is 4.8, it looks like. So you've got, like I said, I got this 4.8 millimeter strip here. Cut it down to the proper length where I would have about a 1 millimeter hangover, about a 0.75 millimeter hangover on each side, top and bottom. Whoop, that's inverted. Yeah, those are the only instances of using a ruler that I had. Calipers were not even a thought in this process. I did use the chopper with a 45-degree, angle guide to get the bevels and and all that on each side or on each corner. And that was really it. It was very straightforward, very simple. Now, when you do obviously a little bit more complex shapes, these aren't great examples, but these are different examples, because the amount of beveling down on this side is a little greater than it is on the top side, right? So the width of this flat edge is a little thinner than the width of this top edge, right? This one's all is unilateral. It's all the same all the way around. But calipers do come into play when you have a little bit more complex shapes and stuff like that. But for something like this, no, I didn't need them. Didn't need them. So hopefully that answers your question, and hopefully you don't hate me because of it. Let's see. Man, Bill's in the chat. What's up, Bill? Always with the good advice. He says to Taylor, every company has a slightly different mixture for styrene. However, Plastruct, Evergreen, and Pla Plate are all brands that feel similar to Bandai's mixture. Very true. Very, very true. Big Goof Mr. Ben says, if you can find it, wave yellow plastic is slightly softer and you can scribe that stuff super easy. Good luck finding it, though. Anyway, outside of Japan, anyways. Chris Pab says, is it weird that I like it better with the jig inside? Yes. Yes, it is weird. Because you're weird, little man. Let's see. Julio! This fucking guy. What's going on, dude? Let's see. John Lynn's back. Stole some birthday cake. Nice. Everybody's wishing happy birthday to John Lynn again. Julio wants me to buy him a 99 Dragons shirt. Why? Why should I buy you that? What are you going to do for me, Julio? This is a quid pro quo, son. Let's go. What's your offer? Anyway. All right, so let's get to scribing on this guy while Julio creates his reply here. And this... It's a good thing that I scribed 3 out of the 4 already, because this right here, this scribe line is a bit weak, and it falls right near the edge of this, so it's starting, the whole jig is starting to get a little weak. So we will slot this in place. And that is a bit snug compared to the other 4. Interesting. Let's see. There we go. Started at the top, now we're here. Perfect. All right. So there's that. Let's get out of Super Zoom here, too. Let's see. Oh man. Kodokai. Oh, Brian changed his screen name. Look at this guy. He's no longer Bro Builder. He's Kodokai now. What's going on, Brian? Brandon says, Julio, buy me a frog shirt. Chris Pab says he'll buy you a phenomenal shirt in exchange. Julio says, like I ain't pump enough laughs and good times into your ass. Wow. Bill says, Julio, you need a 99 Problems and a 99 Luff Balloons shirt to go with the Dragons. That's true. John Lynn says, Tim, buy me a frog shirt. Julio says, I've been paid my dues. Michael Francisco says, if it's your birthday, John Lynn, he should just send you one. Everybody shut up. Shut up. Anyway. Let's get out of Super Zoom. There we go. All right. And to scribing. Here we go. All right. So for this, we've got 0.15. This is a basically a floating style notch, so that's why we're using 0.15. And again, this is really straightforward, very simple. We're just going around the around this feature, right? Now, what I like to do is for this particular part is start down here on the bevel. And get that scribed in first. And then just start working my way around. And I'm not going too deep on the lines just yet. Mainly I'm just trying to get them set in, right? And then once we get the plug jig removed, then we can go in, reinforce, and deepen these lines a little bit more. But, you know, just a few passes just to get the lines set in, get the corners nice and crisp. You know, simple stuff. Simple stuff. Okay. All right, last side here. Make sure we get all the debris out of the way, especially in these corners, because any little bit can cause this chisel to ramp out of these lines and just make a mess out of the rest of the surface. But as you can see, something like using like a plug jig will differ greatly from using tape or even like a scribing, like a stencil, right? Mainly because you get consistent placement of your lines every single time. Consistent registration. Everything is 100% the same every time you use this. And that's the beauty of using a scribe jig or a plug jig like this, is because with tape you can have just a little offset in, you know, in lateral, horizontal, vertical movement, even, you know, orientation. So that's kind of a downside for something like this. And since we don't have anything there to cause, to make, you know, to make a surface area, that tape is going to have a lot less to stick to, and it could move. Now, you could pop this, you know, this filler piece back in there, and you could do that on all four sides. But again, the amount of movement and the amount of slop that you have in there, or that you have potential for, is not worth it, in my opinion. Making a jig like this, it just makes a whole lot more sense, and it just makes the entire process easy. All right, so the outline is completely scribed out, nice crispy corners. Now we go over to 0.3 millimeter, and we're going to scribe these parallel notches in here. And again, super simple, because we've got the the start-stop points already scribed in to the jig itself. So I will press in my stop point on this side, and then just start pulling that notch. Now, I just ran right past, but that was on the first pass, so we're still good. And one thing that I find with this piece being curved, when I hold it at this angle to scribe in, with the curve, I'm actually a little little behind the line that I scribed into the piece itself. So I have to go back in and kind of compensate for that. And then we'll spin this guy around, knock that debris out of there, and then go from the opposite side. Now, the other side of that coin is that if you're a little behind on this side, focus, there we go. If you're a little bit behind on the start point, then that also means usually that you're a little behind on the stop point as well. But it looks pretty decent. It's not that bad. Not that bad. All right. So we're going to keep that as is. All right, get the debris out of there. And there you can see in the highlight there that first parallel notch. Right? Looking pretty good. Now, we do that, repeat that 4 times. Okay. Good stuff there. There we go. Quite nice, quite clean. Let's see. And there you can see that corresponding line there, that little parallel notch. So we're halfway there on this thing, and let's see. Let's get the end point, pop that in place. Now, the first 2 parallel notches will obviously dictate the positioning and length of the other 2, right? So we start on one side, we, what's this? MD and MF, what's that? Call me Miko. Oh, Miko. Waco, wane, hey. Anyway. Being stupid here. But yeah, since we did those 2 first, we're obviously going to want to mirror the other side with what we've already scribed in. So if the other side is a little bit longer, we make this side a little bit longer. Yep, we got to go just a little bit beyond our marks here. Just a bit. Nothing crazy. Sound like Bob Ross. Just a little bit. Happy little notch. Amazing little scribe line. Maybe I'm the Bob Ross of Gunpla. God, that would be some shit, wouldn't it? Need that afro that our boy Justin has. Okay. Let's see here. That looks pretty good. Let me see with the eyes on here. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. All right. Cool. All right. Last one here, and then we'll move on to the filler plate. I'll show you how easy that was too. So while I'm doing this, and just essentially showing boring shit that we've done 4 times already, I finished watching over the weekend, or I should say I binge watched it over the weekend, that Rooster Teeth mecha animation. I don't know if I want to call it anime or not, but it's very much in that style, called Genlock. And I was really quite impressed by it. I was very, very pleased. And I looked, and they want to do a season 2, but the first season came out in 2019, and who knows if we're gonna get it anytime, because the world and everything. But I thought it was great. I think Maisie Williams as Cammy was probably my favorite character. I don't know. She just her cussing and everything was just super funny. And the mech designs and everything I thought were fairly strong. Even the end designs, where they went, and got upgraded and power up and all that. The typical anime, trope. I thought even those designs were pretty damn good. Some of them were a little corny. Cammy's rabbit thing was a bit corny, but she designed it, so can you really blame her? All right. So, kids, there is our perimeter scribe. Now, I'm just going to go back here real quick and go over these lines with the 0.15 and just make sure that we've got a good depth in here. And then I'm going to show you how to clean these up, because one thing that I noticed on this was the massive amount of burr on these lines. It just jumped. Son of a bitch. Look at that. Right there. That's okay, though. Not a big deal. We can fix that. Not a big deal at all. But you can see how ramping occurs, and it occurs to the best of us. So it's just one of those things that you're going to have to deal with every once in a while. But that's where our good friend Bob Smith super glue comes into play. Because we'll fill that with some Bob Smith, or I should say I'll fill that with some Bob Smith and fix that right up, and you'll never know the difference. You'll never know the difference. All right, let's get caught up with the chat, yeah? Let's see. Where did we leave off? Sparion says, "What, you ain't got a lousy shirt for your boyo?" What's my boyo done for me? Anyway. John Lynn says, "Or I'll raise a better one. Buy one of my shirts. Hey." Kodo Kai, Mr. Bryan says, "Been training in this dojo for over a year now. Thought it was time to swap the name." I think it's a good move, Brian. I think it's a good move. I like it. Let's see. Brandon likes John Lynn's mug. Let's see. Michael Francisco. He's got another question.
We have a question.
He says, "Are you going to have rounded build hats on your store?" Not sure what you mean. Like that? Or, I mean, they're rounded already. I don't know. Michael, let me explain to me. I don't know. I don't know what you mean, dude. Let's see. Michael Dawson says, I'm going to have to pick up one of those decal shirts, the 99 Dragons and the 13 Skulls. The Unlucky 13. Yeah, that's the Unlucky 13. That's what they were. But hey, Michael, I appreciate it, buddy. Let's see. Yeah, Bill says for special requests on merch, you can send him a DM on IG or Facebook to get an answer. Yeah, absolutely. If somebody's got a special request, send it my way. They're easy enough to do, and I've done them a lot. Did one for Brandon here just recently. Yeah, it's simple enough. If I can do it, I'll do it for you. Yeah. Michael Dawson says, yeah, he didn't have my size, unfortunately. Michael, shoot me a message with the size that you need and the shirt that you want, and I'll see if I can make it happen. It probably won't, well, it definitely won't be in the Bella Canvas shirts because those are limited to 2X. There's no getting past that. But there are other shirts out there that I can get that goes up to, I believe, 5X in some colors. But shoot me a message and I'll see if we can't, get something squared away for you. Okay? Let's see. Belted Earl says, just sounds wrong somehow, plug jig. Because that's what it is. You plug it in and it's a jig. It's a plug jig. Yeah. Let's see. Curve build hats. I don't know what you call it. Not flat build. Almost like what? Like a fisherman's hat? Like a boonie cap or something like that? What are you talking about? Something like that. I mean, now, keep in mind, when I got this came flat like this, and I had to set the curve in. Like that. So, yeah, I don't do the flat bill thing. I like mine curved. That's just from back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, like a baseball cap. Yeah. Yeah. All of these come flat, but you can curve them. So, yeah. Yeah. Broken in hat where the bill is curved like an upside down U. Like, bloop. I mean, you could do that too if you wanted. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get caught up here. Yeah, Genlock. It's so good. Yeah, Oddmeister's over there. It is so good. It was great. It was great. Haven't we had enough virus variants? Oh, yeah, right. I wish. Miko Pla, Mr. Michael Francisco, he says, Genlock, oh man, loved it, need more of it. Yeah. Let's see. Just getting caught up. Goalie Zero, Mr. Carl, he's over there on Twitch. Bob Smith, friend to all, except your fingertip skin. Yeah, right? Whew. Man, oh man. Yeah, Jesus. It's like the chat's starting to pick up like crazy right now. Jeez. Like a baseball cap. Yeah. Last time I tried that, I ruined the bill. I guess I could use my wife's blow dryer, as long as she doesn't kill me. Oh, dude. I'll be honest with you, Mike, Miko, whatever you want to be called now. This curves really. Just work it like, like that, and it curves really, really easily. The inside here, I believe, is like a cardboard, kind of a laminated cardboard type of stuff, or it might even be plastic. I don't know, but again, very, very easy to curve. Very easy to curve. So don't be hesitant. And if you want like a different model or something like that, a different model hat, I can get other options too if you wanted. So just hit me up and tell me. Yeah. Let's see. Wilson Alane is with us over on YouTube. What's up, Wilson? Good to see you, buddy. He says flat as gangsta with stickers on. Yeah, right. Let's see. Bill says, Miko Plow, all baseball caps start flat but are shaped after manufacturing. Easy ways to tie a softball up in the bill to get a good curve. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Kodokai, just back from a convo with the wife. How's the scribing? Oh, dude. We jumped a scribe there on the. There you can see in the highlight, but we got the whole thing scribed up. We're just catching up with the chat right now. John Lynn's got a question for us.
We have a question.
She says, "What's the secret recipe in the Keebler cookie?" Oh, that's just hurtful. That's just hurtful, John Lynn. And I was gonna buy you a frog shirt. But no more, because that just hurt. It hurt my little elf heart. And no goddamn cookies for you either. Anyway, let's see. Julio says, "Man, painting shit is awesome. I gotta paint more." Yeah, you do. John Lynn says, "No, you weren't. Quit clowning around, LOL." Actually, I kind of was. But you hurt me. Didn't feel good. I don't like that. Team Monkey. Kong's gonna kick his ass. Bitch. Anyway. Let's see. Brandon says, "I'm looking for a new airbrush compressor right now." Bill says, "I own a Senko. I can send you the link. Do it. Do it." Let's see. Let's get a drink because I am about parched here. It's only 11:18. Wow, I feel like we've gotten through a bunch tonight already. Oh yes. Oh yes. All right. So, let's talk finishing real quick before we move on to the insert, because I think this is one part of building that a lot of people don't appreciate and don't understand the importance of, right? In this part here, since we scribed it, there is a lot of burr, right? Meaning that plastic that has risen above the surface, right? And you can kind of see there, just that little piece of plastic. That's just something I scraped off with my fingernail, right? And it's all around here, and you can't really accomplish that with your fingernail so much, because it'll depress back into the line and things like that, and it's just not a good practice to do that. What is a good practice, though, is to finish your damn piece. Finish it off, right? And one of my absolutely favorite practices is to wet sand. Now, for those of you watching that don't have the slightest clue of what wet sanding is, well, you're in for a treat because I'm going to show you. Now, first and foremost, I will sand this all down with, a dry piece of sandpaper. And I don't know what this is, maybe 800 or something like that. It doesn't really matter. But this is just basically to just kind of knock the very, very high points down and get this thing kind of in gear and ready for wet sanding, right? And we just go all around this thing, back and forth in all sorts of different directions, circles and all that. So there you go. Absolute mess now, right? It's an absolute mess. But we'll wipe off the dust, and we'll try to clear as much dust out of here as possible, even though it really doesn't matter too much if you have leftover dust. I like to get as much out of there just because. But that is the extent of our dry sanding right now, right? And that made a mess of it. Now, wet sanding involves a basin of water, which I have my little IKEA basin of water, and that's going to sit off to the side here. It's right here under the camera, right? And then we've got a couple pieces of wet sandpaper here. Now, wet sandpaper is usually gray, and it will tell you exactly on the back. It'll say for wet or dry. This is 1,000. This is, I don't know, but it's a lot finer. I'd probably say this is either 2 or maybe even 3,000. But this 1,000 is actually pretty coarse. And you dip this in the water. You just get it saturated, right? And then there you can see it's all nice and got some water on it, and you just go to town wet sanding this thing. And what's going to happen is you can see the kind of discolored water there, and that's all from plastic dust. And this is just an awesome process because the plastic dust kind of makes almost like a slurry, and between the particles coming up and the sandpaper and the water and everything, you almost get like a polish. And this is actually a pretty coarse piece of wet sandpaper, all things considered. And this is just what I like to start off with. This knocks down everything. This gets everything nice and even. And you can kind of see there how this is all kind of white-ish. That's all just plastic dust in there, right? This is great. This is a great alternative for resin because you don't get that resin dust in the air and everything. So this, by far for resin, is a wonderful alternative. Now, with this piece still very, very wet, I'll take the toothbrush and just go to town in circular motions and just really, really get those scribe lines and those notches really cleaned out there. And that water really makes a huge difference. And that already is the difference between night and day. And that's super, super smooth. And there's hardly any burr to that thing. Now, we're going to take it one step further, and we're going to get the finer piece of sandpaper in gear here. And now this is actually so fine. It's almost like, it literally is almost like a piece of notebook paper. And I've seen people use printer paper, notebook paper, stuff like that as kind of a very, very fine sanding material. Hell, I've even seen people use like tissue paper and paper towels and stuff like that to sand to very, very fine and high grits before. It's actually kind of crazy if you think about it, but it's got a grit to it, All right. All right, so now this thing is nice and good. I dip the entire part in the basin of water, the entire thing. Just get that all nice and clean, get everything knocked out of there. And as you can see, this thing is just completely soaked. Again, take the toothbrush and just go to work in those lines. Use a pretty good amount of pressure because any leftover burr, that toothbrush is going to help knock it down too, those bristles and everything. This is almost like an orbital sander, if you will. This is also a great practice. And now we dry this thing off, and I'll show you how awesome this finish is. Right? Just using just some paper towel, nothing crazy. Keep it simple. John Lynn says, "Stupid little monkey, monkey, team monkey." Let's see. Let's make sure we're good. Yep, that's looking pretty nice. All right, so there's that. Let's get super zoomed in, and I'll show you. You'll be able to see kind of how smooth this surface is now. Bloop. Let's get this moved over a little bit, and there you go. Now we still have a little bit of dust in there, which is not a big deal. I'll go back over it with my chisels and stuff just to clear that out. But you can see, and let's get the excess water dried up from the surface here of the cutting mat. I'll toss that over there. But you can kind of see the smoothness in the highlights and everything there, and you can kind of even see it in the profile. There's just nothing. There's no burr left at all. This is just 100% smooth, right? And that's just a really good practice to do with all your modified scribed parts and everything like that. Wet sanding is definitely the way to go. And if you wanted a high gloss, like a high gloss finish, right? For example, Tex Marquise, Miss Armida, she just completed this wonderful Shokyu model from Gundam Victory, and high gloss orange all over the thing, and it looked really good. But one process that I would do, and I'm not saying that she didn't, I'm just giving an example of a high gloss finish. But one thing that I would do would be wet sanding every ounce of every little millimeter of space on that on the surface armor, and I would take that all the way to 3000 grit, high gloss, polish it with like a no lint rag or like an old t-shirt or something like that, just to get it as smooth as possible. And we've done stuff like that on stream before. We actually polished something, I forget what it was. I think it was a part on the remixed Zaku. We polished a part to almost a mirror finish, and it was actually epoxy putty that we polished out, and it was almost a mirror finish. It was great. Obviously you can't get a mirror finish from something that's not glass or something like that, but it was extremely smooth. So you can do all that, and that's a great prep for laying down your primer and your base coats and everything like that. And yeah, Brandon has a good point. After the fact, you can use like polishing compounds to get a really high gloss finish. Yeah, Bill says wet sanding is also huge for you transparent parts, for your transparent parts like canopies and even sensors. Yeah, no, that's a great call there as well. And for like clear armor and stuff like that, for those of you that like the clear armor and stuff, that's a big thing as well, because once you get that polished down, and wet sanded and everything like that, you can at that point take those polishing compounds and really get that glass finish back into it. And then, or alternatively, you can spray it with a high gloss clear, and probably get it pretty close at that point, because that's all that gloss is going to fill in those defects and bring that clarity back, right? So those are all reasons to wet sand, because I'm gonna tell you what, once you've seen and experienced the smoothness that you can get after you've wet sanded, you're done. You're done at that point. You're going to invest in wet sanding. You're going to get a little basin of water, and you're going to keep it around you, and you're going to wet sand the hell out of everything. So, yeah. Anyway, Sparion says, wet sanding, draw a warm bath, grab your gunpla. Right? I like it. I like it. Let's see. Bill says, I've been told with resin, using something like ZEP or Purple Power rather than water is beneficial. Pabs could verify. Resin. Yeah. And that's the thing. I've said that in the past. With resin, using like ZEP Fast 505, Purple Power, some sort of degreaser, instead of water, it knocks out two birds with one stone. Not only are you wet sanding and you're smoothing the surface, but you're also degreasing the surface and cleaning the surface really well. Cleaning the release agents and all of that stuff. I did that on the Blue Destiny over here back in the day when I refinished it. And that was one of the big reasons why I had to refinish it, because the paint was popping off. I used that Fast 505 instead of water. Just worked perfectly. It was super, super clean, super smooth. It's just kind of a match made in heaven, right? Cleaned the parts after I did that with isopropyl alcohol to get it absolutely pristine. Yeah, it was a perfect surface to work with at that point. Everything laid down smooth. I did scratch tests and everything. Very, very durable. So yeah, that's a good call there, Bill. Thank you for that. I completely kind of forgot about that because I don't work with resin a whole hell of a lot. But still, that is a very good call. Let's see here. Manny says, isn't that still the 1000 grit? No, that was you had two here, right? So the 1000 grit was the pretty coarse one. That's that one right there, right? And then this one was the other one. So yeah. Anywho, let's see. Michael says the only thing I can see is that ramp area. Fix it. Go. I'll fix it later. Don't worry about it. We've done that so many times on here. I don't need to. I'm not gonna waste anybody's time and do that right now. Let's see. Brandon says it's scary sanding clear parts at first, but take it slow and go higher in grit than you think. Absolutely. Couple of Ronan, Mr. Z. What's up, Z? He says, Brandon, you should have mail tomorrow. Hey, it's always nice to get mail, right? Look at Brian. Nice, Z. Community is fuck. There you go. Chris Pab says, verified. There we go. Brandon says, freaking sweet, Z. After the past 5 days of hell, I need a good pick-me-up. There we go. Brian says, Brian, UPS hates your address. When I get back into work next week, gonna have them ship it UPS. There we go. Nice. Brandon says, it has been sent back to me at least 3 times now. I don't get it. I mean, it is what it is at this point, right? United States Postal Service. Thank you. Brandon says, might try sending it to Julio and ask him to hand deliver. Exactly. Julio hand delivers for me all the time. But anyway, stupid. Brian says, haha, make Julio my courier. Damn right. Heard Julio is good with those hand delivers. His hand delivers really well. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to it. All right, so we've got this insert piece now that we've got to tackle, right? So we pop this in here, and it fits really nice and snug. It's molded very, very well, but there's not a lot of separation around the part. You know, like not a lot of panel line separation, right? Brian says, hashtag reach around. Hey, man, not like that. Get your brain out of the gutter. That's disgusting, Brian. I am offended. No, I'm not. Anyway, let's see. So we pop this thing back out, and I'm gonna show you how we get some nice panel lines around that. Actually, really simple. Again, it's just it's stupid simple about how I was able to get that nice uniform separation around this thing. So we start with the part, right? And you can use a hobby knife or whatever. I actually prefer to use the Suji Borido ceramic scraper. This thing just it just, I don't know, it works. Is this Suji Borido or is this is NT? No, NT cutter handle. Yeah. Anyway, I prefer to use this just because it's a lot safer. It won't cut me if I slip, especially handling this small part, right? Let's see. Bill says offended he didn't think of it first. Brian says, you lying. LOL. Thank you, Julio. Kodokai sushi burrito, right? Sushi burrito. Anyway, so what I do, it's very simple stuff. We just chamfer down the edges here. Just chamfer it down, just slightly, nothing crazy, and you don't have to be crazy careful. Just a little bit, just put a little chamfer in this thing, and you want to do it on all sides, so even the little corners here and stuff, and up at the top, and working your way around this thing. And this is going to cause a nice groove to form into the parts, right? And I'll show you here in a minute what I mean, because this will give us a track for our chisel to run through. Okay, so there you can see it's starting to open up that separation a little bit, right? Now, we're done with the ceramic scraper. Let's see. Belted Earl says, Tim's getting into all your minds talking about wet sanding. Hey now. And Bill's going to bed. Bill, good night, buddy. Thank you for hanging out. All right, so once we've got the that part chamfered, then we're going to move over to a 0.20. The reason why I like to do this with a 0.20 is because it provides a little bit more separation, and you need that in this type of procedure here. Now we've got the edges chamfered on the internal piece. Now the external or the inner walls of the feature are still flat, and that provides us with a perfect track to run our chisel, because, and we need to get this damn thing nice and snug in here, or else it won't work, or it won't work all that well, I should say. But you run your chisel in this in this groove, and it just causes everything to open up and that nice uniform panel line to be created around the perimeter of this piece. There we go. And this is looking really, really nice so far. You know, I just thought of something. Pabs, if you're watching, just a t-shirt idea for you. For Julio. Julio's hand deliveries. You can have that one for free. I don't mind. Take it. Make a shirt. Anyway. Oh my God. Brandon
We have a question.
has a question. He says, Tim, maybe next mechanism you bunch of goons can go down memory lane and explain how you all met. Jesus, that'll be a short story, I think. Anyway, Pab says, LOL, I took it. Good. Yeah, use the little hands. That'd be great. Yeah. Oh goodness, a lane of hell. Yeah. Hand deliveries by Julio, or something like that. And it the graphic designer in me is getting run away with this idea. Pabs, just putting this out there, and honestly, you do you, but just an idea. You could make it look like a vintage stamp, like, you know, hand cut, hand cut relief and everything like that, and then have the scalloped edges like a postal stamp and everything. I'm just throwing it out there, man. I don't know how much work you want to put into it. I'm just throwing it out there. Just graphic design. Yeah. Greg Blair's going to bed. Good night, Greg. Anyway, let's see. 11:43. We got a little bit of time. Let's finish this out. I think we got enough time to finish this this panel and everything. Now, the chisel is going to want to find the path of least resistance in this plastic. So it's going to naturally want to fall into the groove side of this plastic rather than fall onto the outer part, right? Okay. Pabs, I need one of those Julio hand delivery shirts. Just FYI. Oh my god, and you can also make it like... Okay, so another idea. Pabs. You could do a parody of either like the United States Postal Service in that vein of things, or even better, you could do a parody of UPS. JHS. Julio's, or JH. Yeah, JHS. Julio's hand service. I mean, you could call it JHD, but I don't know. The J would match the U, and the S would match the S on the UPS and everything like that. So, yeah. Julio's back. Julio, what? LMAO. Dude, you missed it. You're doing the hand. You're doing the hand deliveries. Mike Skyer says with the slogan "Reaching around the world to service you better." Oh, holy shit, that's great. And Pab says JHS, if he can hold it, he'll deliver it. Yes. Brown and yellow, the whole 9 yards. Have on the back doo-doo or like the poop emoji. God, this has so many possibilities. This has so many possibilities. Who says, you guys just want me to make you feel good. And Brandon says, you got them soft hands, Julio. Heard your hand deliveries are perfection. Julio's like, big gummies! Big gummies! A big goof pen, no package too big or too small. This is one of the worst ideas that we've ever had. But also one of the funniest. Just saying. Pabs, I hope you're taking notes. Or at least you rewatch this. And all that. Yeah. Oh my. Jesus. Julio got those Palmolive hands. All right. I think we're in good shape with this insert piece here. So let's pop this out while we are brainstorming Julio t-shirt ideas here. And yeah, there we go. We've got, and you can see, shit, if I can hold on to the damn thing. Let's pop this in the tweezers so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, all right. So you can see in the highlights there, you can see that little highlight, that little ridge all the way around, right? All the way around. And that's your panel line. That's your separation point, yeah? And then the edges in here are still super clean. The chisel just falls into that groove, right? It just falls into it, and it just follows that path of least resistance, so it just went into it. Yeah. So that's step one of getting this little insert up to snub. Now, if we compare that to this insert here, we've got a panel line to scribe in, and then we got a nice big old notch to scribe in as well. So let's get this side removed so we can see exactly which scribing jig I went ahead and used on this thing, because I don't remember off the top of my head. It's been a full weekend getting work done and stuff like that on this thing. But I did use one of Craig's, Mr. High Craig Collins scribing jigs, and it looks like it might have been 3.5. Yes, it was, or the 3. It was a 3 millimeter. 3 millimeter. There we go. Backwards, upside down, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, so we're gonna pull out the where is it? 0.15, and we're gonna grab the correct one here, and we have to make sure of the orientation. You can see here, this is the top, and you see how that tapers down. This is obviously the bottom. So we want to make sure that we are scribing the proper end here, right? And we want to hold that very, very carefully, and just start super light. Gradually get that groove set in there, and you can see how we've got that set in. Now we're just going to go back in here and get that to depth. And there we go. We've got that line scribed in there to a nice depth. We're going to put the 0.15 away, and then our last step is 0.60. Now, for me, I'm going to freehand this. Don't do this if you're not comfortable with it, okay? This is very much a do as I say, not as I do procedure. Just letting you know. Anywho. All right. So, with this piece, this is not a square bottom notch. This is a tapered notch. So it's basically like a ramp. It goes in this direction, right? So we just have to drive this chisel in, and that's about it. Now to find center, we're just going to eyeball it up here. That looks good. And then we're just going to start chiseling the plastic away. And you can kind of see there, you see how the notch is starting to grow. Okay, not too bad. A little off center, and just a little crooked, but we can fix this. We can fix that, and yeah, good enough. Good enough. This is not a GBWC build, so I'm just not overly concerned about perfect symmetry, perfect straightness, perfect alignment, any of that. I'm just trying to get trying to get my mojo back, right? And it's starting to come back. It really is. All right. So, little dry sand there first. And then get the water. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We'll get the other piece here. And we'll do the little toothbrush action here just to get it nice and clean. And let's see how it compares. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Actually, wait a minute. Oh, that was a 1mm notch. Shit. Whoops. That was a 1mm notch. Shit. Okay. Well, that makes things a little more interesting. Okay. All right. So now we've got a 1mm notch in there. And yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I think I might have to get this one a little bit longer to match the other one that we just did. Yeah. Okay. So now, yeah, that matches really, really nicely now. Really quite good. I'm very happy with that. That's perfect. Perfect. Perfect, I say. And look at the time. Oh my God. It's midnight. Let's get caught up with the chat. And then we'll be out. All right. Yeah, Sperion says, this is why there aren't any women tuning in. Tell me about it. Dunswergo, this is why Meg is not out there. Surprising, right? Meg would be into this. Especially with Julio. Whew. Anyway. If women can't laugh at a fat man giving hand jobs, do we really want them here? Fair point, Julio. Fair point. Jesus. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Z is Gumpel Ronan. Yeah. Zishan. There are only one Z. He is I, and I is him. Christ. Ben says, hillbilly proverb, never let fear or intelligence slow you down. just dive into it and do it, right? Chris Pabs, I've lost my Maojiao. Okay. Anyway, Brandon wants to know, Tim, will you be using any photo etch in those round minus molds? In these dealies here? Probably. Yeah. In these guys. Yeah. More than likely. More than likely. Because I don't really have anything else to go in there. And I wanted something nice and detailed, so I will probably be putting some little photo etch in there. Yeah. Chris Pab says Austin Powers reference, man. Come on. It's not that obvious, Pabs. Jesus, jumped up Christ. Anyway, it's not as obvious as I love gold or something like that. Killing me. Fucking killing me, Pabs. Anyway, Z's got a question.
We have a question.
Z wants to know, how do I get Sweet Mecha Army icon next to my name? I've missed a few streams, it seems. It's real simple, Z. Hit the join button underneath the YouTube screen. And it's 99 cents a month. It's the lowest that I could go. It gets you access to the green names and the Mecha Army badge, and it also gets you access to the Mecha Army emojis as well. So let's get some frogs out for Z, shall we? Let's get some frogs out for Z and show him what's available. Yeah. There we go. Frogs are letting loose. Here come the frogs. So yeah, so Z, you can get the frogs especially, but you can also get the other emojis like Brandon had posted there as well. Those are all a part of the Mecha Army membership. So yeah. And the cool thing is, more people join on YouTube. YouTube opens up slots for new emojis, so I'll be adding those as more become available. And Sam L says next emoji needs to be the JHS. No, that is not going to be one of them. Brian says it ought to torture you with a frog croak for every emoji. That would be funny as shit. Let's see. Belted Earl says, but what's the name of the frog in the icon? Frog. I don't know. It's like the name of Daryl's dog on The Walking Dead. He just dog. Come here, dog. It's Frog. Literally, that's it. Anyway. All right, y'all. So, with that being said, we got some good work done tonight. We showed off some cool things. The plug jig and all that fun stuff. The ankle, the new ankle deals, and a frame. Tim, have you you have to build a marine type suit next with all these frog love. I've been wanting to build an aquatic mobile suit. Yeah, I have wanted to build an aquatic mobile suit. I just don't know which one yet. I haven't decided. I don't know. Number one, it's going to have to be in 1/100. And I don't know if I want to go like Guy. I don't know if I want to go Zagok. I don't know if I maybe want to go with like a Zogok, you know. I think that's the one with the big arms and everything from 0080. Maybe customize and go hog wild on something like that, but I don't know. It's just one of these other grand ideas that I have that I'll probably never get around to building. Yeah, just one of those things, really. Man, Carl over there on Twitch throwing up that freaky Philadelphia thing. What's his name? That Philadelphia Flyers mascot. What's his name? Scrappy or Trippy or I don't know. Freaky. I don't have a clue what his name is. Gritty. That's his name. Gritty. Anyway. I digress. But, yeah, so if you want to get any of the tools and materials that we have worked with here tonight, there is an Amazon link below here in the description. That side, if you are watching on Facebook, which you probably aren't. Kenneth says, camphor. Oh, I have so many ideas for a camphor, too. Shut up, all of you. God damn it. Anyway, glizzy. Yeah, gritty. So hit up the link. I do get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It just goes to help out and support the channel. If you want to pick up one of these cool-ass Chata Mecha shirts or one of these amazing Mecha Army hats, hit up www.chatamecha.com. Hit the store button at the top. You'll find this hat, this shirt, many more. You also find the brand new today, Mecha Decal Insignia t-shirt line, and you'll also find the Ace Pilot series on there as well. Both series are on there, available as of right now. If you really want to show your support for what we do here, hit up the Patreon and sign up for that, because we're doing a lot of really cool stuff on there. Monthly giveaways, huge amount of posting, a lot more pictures and stuff of all of this, all of these things that we showed you here tonight in great detail. Hi Gog, that's it. Thank you, Mike Skyers. That's the one I was thinking of. Hi Gog. But yeah, so go join up on the Patreon. A lot of good things happening, a lot of good things to come over there. So it would behoove you to sign up. Anyway, and as always, if you're interested in kits, tools, paints, accessories, Mecha Decals, sheets 1, 2, and 3, those are all shipping and in stock right now, right down here at our good friends USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine folks down there will definitely have what you need. So, with that being said, let's get real quick one last roundup here. Let's see. Scuba Jesta, make it happen, Tim. Brandon says counterpart to airdrop. Actually, I think the Quel is going to be more of a kind of a counterpart to airdrop, because it's going to have a similar patterning in terms of the color. It's not going to be red and white, but it's going to, the same color placements, I think, and the same style. So, anyway. All right, y'all, I will be back here on Wednesday, and we're going to continue this, and we're going to keep working on this guy. We're getting some good progress made, some really good progress made. So, come on back on Wednesday, hang out and have fun. All right, so with that being said, guys, stay safe out there, stay healthy, and build something cool. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, guys.